Hello there. Today we're going to put a 3D file, this one that I've written in Carveco Maker. It's just a smiley face. Now I've set the feed rate at 15 millimeters per second. Alright, 12.7 millimeters is half an inch, just to give you an idea. So it's about, what is it? 5/8 of an inch, something like that, per second of feed rate. And of course, flat out 7,000 RPM. That's the Achilles heel, really, of this motor, or one of the Achilles heels. Is two. It hasn't quite got enough torque, I've found, and it doesn't have the RPM. You know, you need sort of, at least about 12,000 RPM to really get into it, sort of thing. But for a start, for the first run of the ladder, if you are thinking of getting into CNC, or you want to teach yourself or learn about CNC and how to use a CNC machine, I highly recommend these. You know, this little machine already, I've only had it running a week, and it has really surprised me. It is 10 times better than what I thought it was going to be. But you'll notice in the comments section, different people have wrote in to me because I said that I was unsure about the Bakelite or plastic framed models. You know, they're telling me, oh, leave them well alone, they're not much of it. So, you know, I suppose that would be my recommendation as well, is go for the aluminium framed ones only. Don't touch the plastic ones. Okay, so first of all, I'll load the file into Candle, which is the Gerbil control, because I'm not sure yet whether it's going to take it or not. I don't know. So we'll drop this down and bring Candle up, and we'll go into File, Open, where it sees it, double click. Well, there it is. So it sees it, so I suppose now better see if it'll run it. So okay, so we'll set our 0, 0, and as usual, somewhere here. Okay, I'll put the second camera so you can see what's going on with the cutter. Okay, so we're going to find the 0, 0, all right, in the Z with a piece of paper, and I'll show you how to do that, which is really the easiest method to do that. So I'll just bring it down slightly. So we'll put it into continuous mode. Let's slow it up a bit. Might be a little too slow. That's better. And we'll just move it along a bit. Okay, we'll leave it on that line there. This is the same piece of wood from the previous video that I did. Okay, now we will slow the descent down, and we'll slow it down even further. I'll get my piece of paper. And what you do, you just put it under the cutter like that. I'm going to have to use cross hands here, because I do this with my left hand, and just keep it moving, the paper, and I'm just gradually bringing it down. I can just feel the end of the tool. It's just grabbing it there. See, I can move the paper without actually ripping it. So that's pretty well there. Just give it one little bit and it's nearly grabbed it. I can't push the paper, but I can pull it. So I would say that that's within 2 thou, 2.5 thou maybe of the piece of wood. If you wanted to be sort of more precise, you can pull the paper out, turn it, not quite in contact with the, I'm just going to give it one little bit more. Now that is just scraping it, I think. So we're going to call that good, and I'm going to 0. So for those of you who missed it last time, XY0, press that one, Z0, press that one. So now, and you'll see up the top line up here, work coordinate. Okay, it's accepted that as now XYZ 0. That's the work coordinate Z, XYZ 0. So now I'm going to alter this setting back up to 500, and I'm going to lift the tool up, and well, I'm going to press send, which is start, and I suppose see what happens. Now I'm not sure whether I should be putting this all the way up there or not. I mean, I did set it in Carveco at 1000 because I'm thinking that this program will accept the figure of 1000 as flat out. So here we go. This is for the roughing cut. So far so good. The roughing cut took 17 minutes and 44 seconds, which isn't bad. actually. For such a small machine, it's not bad. As you saw on the footage of machining that, it's left it with a bit of a beard, so I'm going to have to maybe shave that off a little bit. And then what I'm going to do now is put the 1.5mm ball mill in, set that up, and set that going. So that'll be the next file. So the 1.5mm ball mill's in there now, and I've set the 0 on that, and somewhere in amongst all those lines is a smiley face out of Carveco. The step over is 0.25 of a millimeter, which is about, let me see, 0.25, that's 10 thousandths of an inch. So there's 40 thousandths of an inch to 1 millimeter. So that's 1/4 of a millimeter, so 10 thou. Step over, and the feed rate again is 15 millimeters per second. Okay, which is a little over half an inch. So let's see what it makes of this. Look, the roughing cut went without a hitch. There was just a little bit of fibre build-up on the tool, which is the actual drill that I made into an end mill, and it's just left a bit of furring. Well, I used to get that on the big one as well. So it done a fair job. Let's hit go and see what it does. pleasantly surprised because there's most definitely a smiley face in there. And this little 3018 CNC router cut it. And I didn't think it was going to do such a good job, but I mean, the day before, a couple of days ago, when I did the test cut of the pocket and the little square around it, I thought, you know, that surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be as clean, but you know, and I've cleaned up a little bit on this. There was just a little bit of furriness, just here. So I just took it off with a bit of fine paper, but there's definitely a smiley face there. So I'm really happy. So you know, if you was, I say again, you know, if you're thinking about getting on the first run of CNC, you know, any CNC machine, you know, this, I would say, would be the first step to get into, you know, using using a little CNC machine, getting used to the speed and feeds, and you know, the way things operate, and certainly, you know, the programs for free. So for an outlay of 350 Australian dollars, because most people have computers, CNC machine, and learning how to use it. So this would be my advice. Also, in that price that I paid, I've got a 5,500 milliwatt laser, which we are going to start using next, actually. Because I know the faults that I have found with this now. I do know that, you know, 7,000 RPM is not enough. You need twice that. So I have pre-ordered a 16,000 RPM 300 watt motor that I'm going to upgrade this machine. I've also got a set of limit switches, so we're going to give it limit switches to work with as well. And of course, with that, you can push it a bit further and get a better result, a better outcome, and do better things. You know, even look, I think it might even sort of sort of just put its toes in on aluminium as well, because this motor, it would not successfully really cut aluminium. Yes, it'll scratch it, but it won't cut it. So, you know, we're going to be able to do that. And also, it does flex a little bit and causes vibrations, and you know, you can actually see some of the vibration marks. I'll show you. You can see some vibration marks here and here. And I was very, you know, they were very, very minor cuts. You know, it wasn't very deep or anything like that. But you know, it was setting up harmonics, and you know, with the tool moving through the material, it was actually making it vibrate as well. Now that is because these are two 10mm bars. That's what it runs on, and these will flex slightly. And of course, with the leverage with the tool right here, it makes it even flex more. So what I'm going to do, I'm not decided yet whether I'm going to put a third rail up here or over the back or underneath, but I'm going to put a third rail to beef that up, to stop that. And of course, with the additional larger 300 watt motor that I'm putting on here, it's really going to need it. I do see people putting 500 watt motors on these. Now that is too much. The frame would not withstand the full power of that. So my advice would be not to put a 500 watt on such a small device. So, in a nutshell, I'm pleasantly surprised of the capabilities of this little 3018. But I know that I can make it a lot better. So the next videos we are going to go laser with this. So we're going to put the laser on it, and we're going to see what the laser can do, and if there's any improvements on that. Before I start to upgrade this, and again whatever upgrades that I draw up plans for either 3D printing or you know, sort of if it's aluminium, you know, a part made out of aluminium, they're available on my Patreon pages. So, thank you for joining me, and please like, subscribe, and if you would like to, pop along and visit me on my Patreon pages, and if you would like to become a patron, because it's the patrons behind this channel that actually keep it going. And well, thank you for joining me, and I hope you tune in for the next exciting, thrilling video where we go laser with a 318. So, okay, bye for now.